the last question, remember again, read the whole passage. I'm just going to read the sentence of 22 for the sake of time in this video. So employers can also identify which employees have successfully completed instructional modules and which need to be offered additional training. Okay, this is a punctuation question because all of our answer choices just have different punctuation. The first thing to notice here is that B and D are the same answer, okay? Colons and dashes have the same uses, okay? They follow the exact same rules. The only exception to that is the double dash that we saw earlier in this passage, right, which is interchangeable with 2 commas. But if I'm talking about just one dash, it follows the same rule as a colon, okay? And remember, if you have 2 answer choices that are the same, then they're both wrong. So I'm gonna get rid of B and D right away. So that leaves me with the option to put a comma or put nothing at all. Now, this rule is pretty nuanced, okay? First thing we want to do is identify the clauses. That's always important. So employers can also identify, well, I have a verb here, can, okay, and subject, employers. So employers can also identify. That is a clause, and it's technically an independent clause, even though it doesn't feel complete, but there's no reason it can't stand on its own. Which employees have successfully completed instructional modules and which need to be offered additional training? Okay, this word which, we call it a relative pronoun, and it creates relative clauses which are dependent. Okay, so we have 2 dependent clauses here. Right now, this is where it gets a little nuanced, a little nitty gritty. We have to decide if this information is necessary, okay, or restrictive, or if it's not necessary. If it is not necessary to understand what the sentence is saying, then we will use a comma. If it is necessary and that we aren't totally sure what's going on without that, or without those dependent clauses, then we will not use a comma. So if we say employers can also identify, well, we don't know, identify what, right? We're kind of left hanging, we're not sure. So that means the information that follows is very necessary, okay? It's restrictive. So for restrictive information, we do not use a comma, which is why I will choose C, okay? So no comma for restrictive information.